Mike Moore Media, the first place to hear Rockingham County news and information.
I'm checking in with our friends with Rockingham County Government, and on the line right now, Rodney Cates, Director of Emergency Services 911 here in the county. Hey, Rodney, how you doing, sir?
Good morning. Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Well, you've just completed a radio check right before we were doing this podcast. Tell us what you did, what that is. I'm kind of curious.
We do a radio check, a monthly radio check with our branch of North Carolina Emergency Management. North Carolina Emergency Management is broken into three different divisions. They actually have an eastern, a central, and a western division. Rockingham County is part of the central division. And once a month, they do a radio check. There is a specific radio on the 800 megahertz Viper radio frequency, and that frequency is owned and maintained by the state. And that's what we use here in our county as well. So we go to the central branch office channel, and they do a roll call of each county that's in the central branch just to make sure we still have radio connectivity. Should a large event occur and we need interoperability between counties, then that gives us the ability to talk to all counties within the central branch, and that just verifies and is a check each month that we still have that capability, and should an event occur that we can all talk together should we need to.
This is an important network statewide, isn't it, for emergencies? And when you're saying central area, I have a pretty good idea, but how many counties in that, Rodney?
It's around 11 counties. I don't know that to be exact number, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 9 to 11 counties in the central area of North Carolina, down to Wake County, Guilford County, north here to us, and Rockingham. So it encompasses a lot of area.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very important because the state Viper system was built to create interoperability so that counties could talk to each other no matter where they were, and the state can alter that system really on the fly so that you can actually talk from Murphy to Manteo when the state allows one to do that. Typically, they don't allow that because they try to limit the amount of radio traffic. But should a catastrophic event occur in the state of North Carolina, there are radio frequencies and radio channels that will allow us to talk from one end of the state to the other should we need to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's reassuring, isn't it? And I wonder, how does North Carolina compare with, say, neighboring states or really around the United States? Are we in pretty good shape with communications? It sounds like we probably are.
We are. The Viper system, when it was built by the state, is actually built and it's maintained by the North Carolina Highway Patrol. It was and still is a leading technology in radio systems. And again, it does allow connectivity and interoperability statewide. Should an event occur that we need to put just in our county, that we had a lot of different agencies on in response to, we can request state channels or state event channels, and everybody can put those channels in their radios and have one talk group or one radio channel that we can all communicate on. So there's a lot of redundancy built in the Viper system. Microwave and towers are microwave together, so that if you lose connectivity, the fiber connectivity to a tower, then you have a microwave capability that serves as a redundant pathway to continue that radio traffic. So it's a very robust system. They continue to upgrade it and do different things to it quite frequently, and it serves us as well as the majority of North Carolina very, very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How long have you been doing this in communications and working in the job you're doing?
I've been in communications since 2011. Spent some time in Orange County with the Orange County Emergency Services and the Communication Center there. Then I went down to the coast and spent 5 years in Carteret County, right on the coast as the 911 director there, and then came back here. So total time in communications started in 2011.
And the technology is always changing and improving.
It is. It's ever evolving, and it's good that it does. I mean, the technology certainly, from the 911 perspective, there's technology out there that helps us pinpoint callers and processes callers a lot faster, and how we can locate them and how we can send information through mobile data terminals, mobile computers to field units, and they can see the notes that we're inputting from the 911 center, the information we're gathering from the caller, those field responders can immediately see that information the minute it pops into the computer-assisted dispatch system. So technology changes every day. It improves every day. And the benefit of that is those that are in need and those that are responding to them have the most up-to-date information that we're receiving in the 911 center during their response.
Mm-hmm. That's great to know. All right. Well, thank you for that overview. I know you're following, as many of us are, the situation in Johnson County, and you wanted to talk today about flash floods. And, boy, that can happen so fast and so dangerous. So give us an update on where we are with that.
It can. We talked about it last time. We gave a little overview about flash floods and how quickly they can come upon us, and that's exactly why they're entitled flash flooding. But whenever we have those warnings, meaning that conditions are imminent for flash flooding to occur, we really need to take those warnings with as most importance as we can, because if we look at the tragedy that happened in Johnson County the other night, they had flash flooding. There was a family, I think a lady and her 2 children who were trapped in flood waters, and they were able to rescue them, and the flood water was so extensive that it actually overturned the rescue boat that they were in, the rescuers as well as the family, and 2 children were lost, and they're still searching now for those 2 children. So that's a tragedy for everybody involved. The family, certainly the loss of the children, but those responders that knew they had rescued those children, and then they get in another situation where all of their safety is in jeopardy, and they lose those children. So everybody has certainly an emotional toll there to deal with. So we just ask that people listen to these warnings, heed these warnings, and take the precautions that are provided in these warnings to ensure their safety. And as we talk about each time that we talk, Mike, our responders, we need to look at their safety too, because they're the people that are putting their lives on the line. Granted, they sign up to do this, but they're putting their lives on the line to rescue people and save people and make positive differences in people's lives. But their lives certainly matter too, and they're putting their lives at jeopardy, and we want to make them as safe as we can also.
That's exactly right, and yeah, that brings up an interesting point with hurricanes and things, and people who refuse to leave and going to wait it out, and you reach a point that, wow, what do you do? But I cannot imagine the team there in the boat the other night now, and looked like things were moving along positively, and then a negative situation there. So, thanks to our first responders who leave their families to go help and save other families.
That's exactly right. And these situations, there's no guarantee they're returning.
Yeah.
And they do that, and they're dedicated to it. They are, a lot of them are volunteers. They have full-time jobs. They're doing this after hours, after they've completed their 8 or 10 or 12-hour day. They're doing it in addition to the other tasks that they have. So they're certainly heroes. They are well-trained. They have a heart of service, and that's what they want to do. But again, we want to, if we heed these warnings as citizens, and I'm included in that too, if I heed the warnings that I hear go out, then I lessen the likelihood of needing to be rescued, and that enhances the safety and security of those who may be tasked with rescuing me or other citizens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't want to put them needlessly in that situation, that's for sure. Okay. Well, this is always interesting. Thanks for your perspective on this. Anything else we needed to mention while we have a moment or two left?
The COVID picture, as we heard the governor speak yesterday, is starting to look a little better for us, and we're certainly glad for that. Mm-hmm. And we've hit on this each month, too, but I think it's still important to exercise that social distancing. The new governor's new executive order came out yesterday, and again, we need to heed the warnings that are in that executive order and abide by what is provided in the executive order, so that we too can be as safe as we can be to return to a state of normalcy as quickly as we can.
That's exactly right. Rodney, thank you again, you and your team here in Rockingham County. I appreciate it, and always good to talk to you. Hope you have a good week, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Rodney Cates is Director of Rockingham County Emergency Services, 911. A call away when you need those folks at 911. And just a quick website visit away for the county at myrockinghamcountync.com.